Hey, this is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and this is Friday, October the 5th. It's only a little after one. It's about 1:40, a little after 1:30 today. I'm doing the chart lesson a little bit early. It's Friday. I'm going to get out of here early today. I've got some things going on. My son's got a ball game. My daughter's got a birthday, so I've got a lot going on this weekend. So I'm going to call it a early day today and get out of here and go enjoy the weekend. Um, So I'm doing it just a little bit early. We've had, I'd call this a trading range. I believe we're going to end up following this range. We got a low down here of around 1455, and really the highs up here around 1463, 64 area. You know, we could continue to work on down here the rest of the day. I don't know. And we may even go lower. But I'm thinking this is really setting up like a range type day. We had a little bit of a spike, what I thought was going to be a spike in channel. We had this big spike up, and then we went into this channel, but it didn't last very long. We just couldn't really get above the resistance at 1464, and then we slowly chopped down to the lows we've got now. Um, there is a gap in here. We closed right here yesterday. The 8:30 open was way up here somewhere, so there is a gap we're trying to fill here, and we came pretty close. Let me just see where that is. We've come really close. You can see that gap is right across there. So we got a little bit further to go down here closer to the actual lows. So my guess is that's where we're headed. Don't trade on that information. Make sure you follow the price action. But as of now, you can see we've been trending down really since 9:15, 9:30 this morning. Steadily down, and we got a little bit of a spike and another little bit of a channel here, so kind of a spiking channel again, and we're at the low end. So it doesn't mean we can't go lower, but I would expect we'll probably come back up here and test the EMA or test the highs, and then maybe work on down and fill those lows. So we'll have to see what happens. But let's go ahead and talk about the trades. Let me back out here and make it a little larger so you can see what was going on. The first trade really set up around 8:30 this morning. We had a double top. We broke above it, and that was right before the open. And then we kind of went into this little range, and then finally we turned back down. So this was kind of a second entry short off this new high. So and you could see where we were bouncing off these highs up through here, and um, and I started with a close, but you could see where we were bouncing off that. And then if you clone that or copied that and brought it down, the low is right across, pretty much right across there. So I was looking for prices to come back down here. So nice easy trade, and it worked out really well. And you could have entered up below this one because it was a failed break higher, but it took it a little bit of time because it ended more as a doji, but it is at the high. It made it a little riskier. So, and then even this one looked risky because we had all this overlap, but generally if you get a lot of overlap at a strong supportive resistance, that's a lot of times a good sign because prices are struggling. And look at how all the stems are at the top and the closes are down near the bottom. That's a clue that we're probably going to go on down. And so I like that trade. And then, of course, we bounced off the low side once again. And then you got to think we're going to the high, back to the top. So another nice easy scalp here. We couldn't get above these highs again, so we pulled back, tested the line, and so another entry right there off the same line. And this time we did break above the little double top, get to the new high, and then look what happened. We went into all this overlap, and it's a failed break higher. It's a second entry short, really, off of this trend channel line, and you got to figure we're coming back down to the low side again. And notice that no real long ever set up. This, you might could have considered this a long, but with this coming off the highs and getting below, going right through the EMA and below the trend line too, that was not a good sign. We pulled back and tested, but notice all the overlap. Not a really good setup. We're kind of stuck in with lows here and the highs here, but then we get a breakout pullback short that bounces off what's a possible trend line again, and so that sets up a nice short. And you were better off to wait for the lower bar here, but you could have gone to short right below that bar, which is what I did. And this was a nice little trade down here, and then this was my last trade of the day. And I watched all this, and by the time we got to here, I'd already called it a day and was working on something else. So, but again, we're just bouncing around, and you copy this line and drag it down, and you see where it's holding all the way down through here. And so this is and notice this breakout area. We came back, we tested it once, we tested it twice, and then got a second entry short off another test of it. You got a new high here, so your first entry, then your second entry. You got a nice bearish bar this time. You could have gone short here, and if you did, as long as you kept your stop above the signal bar, it was okay. But this is not a really good setup. You need a more bearish bar like right here. And we had that little tick up again too. So this was the better place to go short, and that was a nice move all the way down here. And right now any runners would still be going, but my guess is we'll probably come back up here and test this again. We'll have to see. And that was really it for the day, and I'll back out of that again so you can see it. And it's really looking like a possible range day. My guess is, with it being Friday, there wasn't a lot of big news today or anything, so my guess is we're going to end up with a range day. But again, don't trade on that, because I told you that. Follow the price action. As long as we're making lower highs and lower lows, then the trend is down. And if we start making higher highs and higher lows, then the trend will be up. So, but for now, the trend's down. And we do have a target down here that we're probably headed to. And if you measure this first leg, I think that is probably leg 1. If you move it over here to leg 2, look where that target is. And let's see exactly where that target is. Guess what that does? It just about fills the gap, misses it by a tick. So my guess is this is where we're headed. Again, don't trade on that fact, that because you heard me tell you that if this gets posted before we get there and the market's still trending, follow the price action and you'll be fine. So, but I'm going to wrap it up so I can get out of here early today. Hope you had a good trading week. This was a pretty good trading week. I really I had one of my better weeks this week myself. We had a lot of movement, and even though it was two-sided movement at times, we had some movement for a change. You know, we're not stuck in these tight ranges. I mean, yesterday we had some pretty good moves. The day before that, we had some pretty good moves. You know, that we're moving all down, but look at those moves. Again, we're moving down, but some nice moves up and then down. So it was a pretty good week, and I mean, we don't really care where the prices are headed as long as they're trending and going somewhere. That's when it you know, gives you a chance to get money. It's when it gets like this that it gets hard to make money, because you get in these little tight ranges, and even this was not anything to brag on, but if you found the channel, you knew where to get along, and you had some nice easy moves there. And so far, it's been the same thing coming down. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.